Offline lies. The night I walked away from my influencer fiancé. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm sharing a story I never thought I'd have to tell. My name is Mason, and for most of my life I've stayed out of the spotlight. I don't chase likes, I don't post every meal, and I certainly never thought I'd get pulled into the chaos that comes with online fame. But then I met Delilah and everything changed. We crossed paths at a birthday party hosted by a mutual friend. She had a magnetic energy. Sharp-witted, effortlessly confident, the kind of woman who could walk into any room and own it without trying. I didn't know then that she was already a familiar face to tens of thousands. TikTok, Instagram, live streams, you name it, she was on it. To be honest, I didn't care. Her online world didn't mean much to me. I wasn't drawn to her following. I was drawn to her. The real her. Or at least who I thought was the real her. Delilah once told me, "People see me online and think they know who I am. But they don't. You do." I believed her. We started dating a few months after we met. In the beginning it was amazing. She was attentive, thoughtful, full of surprises. She told me I was a breath of fresh air, someone who didn't treat her like a brand or a ticket to exposure. I felt like I was in something genuine. But even then, subtle cracks were forming. I noticed how quickly she could assess people, spotting their wealth, their social status, their potential to boost her visibility. I once asked her, "Why do you care so much about what people have or who they are online?" She laughed it off and said, "It's just how you survive in the creator world. But not with you, Mason. You're different." I wanted to believe that. As our relationship deepened, so did the divide between her online persona and the version of her I was falling for. She live-streamed everything. Morning routines, unboxings, rants, dinners with friends. It never stopped. I set a boundary early on. I didn't want to be part of her content. I valued privacy. She said she understood. But over time that understanding eroded. She'd call me dull, because I didn't want to appear on camera. She'd joke, "Other influencers' boyfriends are always part of the fun. Why are you so serious all the time?" I didn't want to fight, so I stayed silent. But that silence became the soil where resentment grew. When we were alone, I felt like I was interrupting her show. Even intimate moments felt rehearsed. She would be scrolling comments instead of listening, planning brand deals instead of planning a future with me. Eventually I proposed. I thought maybe commitment would shift her focus back to us. I bought a ring I could afford. Simple, elegant, chosen with care. She said yes. And then stopped wearing it 2 weeks later. When I asked why, she shrugged. "It's not really the aesthetic I imagined," she said. "I mean, it's just not on brand." I should have walked away then. But I didn't. I told myself love was about compromise, about seeing past material expectations. We moved forward with the wedding. She was ecstatic. More than I'd ever seen her. But not about us. It was about the location, the influencers she could invite, the outfits, the drone footage. Every conversation was about optics, not vows. About lighting, not legacy. "I'm getting so many DMs about this venue," she'd say, eyes gleaming. "They're obsessed." But I was starting to feel invisible. Like the groom was optional. Just another filter in her story. Still I held on. Until her bachelorette party. She'd gone out with her friends, booked a luxury suite, planned a live-streamed bash. I didn't mind her celebrating. I trusted her, or tried to. But that night I got a notification on my phone. "Delilah is live." I opened it, curious. The screen lit up with music and laughter. She and her friends wore matching silk robes, sipping champagne and dancing like they were in a music video. Then Delilah grabbed the mic. She was drunk, red-faced, grinning wildly. She looked straight into the camera and slurred. "Should I even marry him? I mean, he's sweet and all, but..." Ugh. Laughter exploded from the crowd behind her. One of her friends yelled, "Girl, you don't have to go through with it." And instead of correcting her, Delilah leaned into it, laughing louder than anyone. That was it. Not just the words, but the comfort she felt mocking me in front of strangers. Every quiet insult she'd ever slipped in. Every moment she made me feel boring or not good enough. Every time she pushed me aside for a better shot, a more flattering story. It all came crashing down in one awful, humiliating moment. I didn't text her. I didn't call. I just typed 3 words into the chat. Don't bother. The next morning, while she slept off the night, I cancelled the venue. I cancelled the caterer, the photographer, everything. I didn't care about losing the deposits. That was the price of peace. When Delilah found out, my phone exploded with calls and texts. She didn't apologize. She didn't ask how I felt. Instead, she demanded to know why I was being so dramatic. It was just a joke, she said. You're really going to ruin everything over that? But this wasn't about one comment. It was about a year of being treated like a placeholder, like a sidekick in her curated fantasy. And then came the final insult. She went live again a week later. This time the story had changed. She told her followers she had left a toxic relationship, that I was controlling, that I didn't support her goals, that I made her feel small. She painted herself as the victim with a teary voice and carefully chosen words. Thousands of strangers rallied behind her. You deserve better, they typed. So glad you left him. They didn't know me. They didn't know anything. I wasn't going to stoop to her level. But I also wasn't going to let her lie unchecked. I had a lawyer send a cease and desist letter. A formal warning that if she continued defaming me, we'd be taking it further. After that, the lives stopped. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just silence. And that was enough for me. Delilah probably still believes she's the hero of her own story. That's fine. Let her think that. I know my truth. And I've learned that some people are more in love with the idea of being seen than the reality of being loved. If there's one thing I've taken from all this, it's that love without respect isn't love. It's performance. And I finally stepped off her stage.